You today. Carlo Lutero is a ninth grade reporter for his school paper, and then Hudson Yang, sixth grader, star fresh off the boat, and son of Jeff and Heather Yang. So, um, yay!
Alright. So Jeff, you kind of play this character who's... Jeff, my bad. Hudson. Play this character that kind of serves like a symbol, kind of like typical Asian American life. And it's somewhat stereotypical, but most of it's kind of true. So, in general, do you like the show? Do you enjoy being on it?
Well, I mean, there are some parts of the show where I was kind of iffy about what was happening. I didn't understand some of it. But then people would explain it to me, and then I learned that more about the Asian community and what they're explaining in the show, and that would make me more excited about it and get me amped up to do this and see what would happen and the effects that would kind of change after the show is released. And yeah, I am really excited.
This show's been called like a game changer, or just like family shows, kind of like in general, as is, you know, like an Asian version of Modern Family or Blackish, but obviously it's doing a lot better.
Ha!
So, what inspired you to accept the role of Eddie? Were you coerced into it, or did you like accept it? Did you accept it openly?
Well, I was actually not going for Eddie when I auditioned for this. I was going for the middle brother, Emery. And so when I was going for that, they said, "You're not right for this role." And so I was like, yeah, okay. And then Eddie called my dad and said, "Oh, well, yeah, I want your son to play me." And my dad was like, "Oh, you must be talking about somebody else." And for some reason he wasn't. And so my dad told me, and then I told everybody in my family. And so I went out for the audition to have Eddie, and I got it, which was a huge thing for me. So I didn't think that it would actually go that far because I haven't really seen many other shows on it. But then I read the script and I kind of got more interested in it and had some fun. And I didn't really care if it got picked up or not by then. And I just wanted to have fun with everybody else on it while I had the chance.
That's good. So, I heard that the real Eddie Huang kind of, I guess his gut feeling was right. Would you say that?
I don't know what he thinks, but I know that a lot of other people might think that I was a good choice. Well, there's others who think that I might have been a bad choice. But he's pretty proud of me. I've talked to him a little bit after the show. He thinks that I was great. He wants me to be myself, not to change my attitude at all. So, yeah, maybe he's proud of me. He's got a good choice, yeah.
It's like, besides what anybody else thinks, whether it's Eddie Huang or just anyone in general, would you say that you, Hudson Yang, and your character Eddie have like a lot in common? So,
well, yes, there's a lot of things that we have in common, but there's also a lot of things that we don't have in common. Like, I should listen to a lot more a lot more rap music, and he should not get in trouble as much. And there's a lot of other things that would happen, but my mom, she is like kind of Eddie Huang as a woman. Yeah, whatever. But she had to live the life kind of as Eddie does. She speaks what she thinks. She had to work in a restaurant, and yeah, she wasn't rich. She wasn't successful, or her family wasn't that successful, but she built up, and eventually her family kind of got better. She was the first one to go to college, and yeah.
So like in the show, it's obviously a different time and you said there are still like a few differences between you and your character. So, does that make it a little difficult for you to fall into character when it comes time to shoot for the show, or when it did?
Well, I mean, the differences sometimes are kind of challenging to overcome, but it's not hard to become the character, because the character has a lot of the same reactions to things and the same attitude, or not exactly the same attitude, but kind of the same attitude as I do. So when I play the character, I kind of think, what would I do in the situation? And then I think, what would Eddie do in the situation? And I kind of make a mix between those two.
So now that you're on like a hit show, I would say it's a hit show. I love it. So how has like all the fame and attention that you've been getting, how has that affected like your social life? Do you get girls?
Yeah, no, I don't get girls, but
Oh.
I wish, yeah. But I mean, some of my friends are really excited for the show, and there's some people that I meet on the streets or people in my school who come up to me and like, dude, your show is awesome, or you're great, and all that, but it hasn't really changed too much, if you know what I mean.
So like now that you're probably done shooting, you're still going around to places and meeting new people, probably like higher like standings in society. So like so like with those aspects of your acting career, how does that affect your school life since you also go to a very prestigious school, one of the best in New York?
That's a hard thing to answer. Let's see. So, I go around meeting some people, not all of them being higher class, whatever. And even though I get to do all these cool things and get to go around places that some people haven't, and I go to a very good school, it doesn't really change much. I get to do these things, but people in my school are very lucky, and they have a lot of good opportunities as well. They have fun opportunities. So, I mean, they get to do a lot of the things I do. So, it's not really a change. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see. All right. And so, since we kind of have to close up a bit, with all of the things that have been going on, you know, maybe your new ways of seeing things now that you're probably in like the center of a lot of attention and fame, would you say that after Fresh Off the Boat finishes or discontinues, hopefully that's a long time from now, would you say that you would consider taking on your acting career, or would you go for a more like serious job per se?
I mean, maybe if I was younger, I would have made a different choice. Like, no. Not saying I'm old, but like if I was like 7 or 8, I would probably say, oh no, I don't want to do this after that. I would go on and be a scientist or a firefighter. But now I'm actually doing it, and I'm older, so I understand kind of how things work. Yeah, and so I would consider continuing this job if I thought it was right for me, which I do.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.